But on a serious note, right, we are here for a very serious reason. I'm glad that I got you guys all riled up, but we are here for a very serious reason. And, we have to remember that, Fong Lee was someone's son, someone's brother, member of our community, someone who is very deeply loved, and a human being who deserves justice. And he is one in a long line of men, women, people of color who have found themselves killed and not received justice. And so I'm going to share some poems with you tonight. The first one I'm going to do is a poem that I wrote when I was out in Detroit a few years ago for the 20th anniversary of Vincent Chin's murder. And again, another brother who was lost at the hands of anti-Asian violence. And I do consider this murder of Fong Lee as an incident of anti-Asian violence. This is called Notes from the Underground, Remembering Vincent Chin, Detroit, June 2002. Remember. I've been using this word a lot lately, but I wonder if I've been using it right. I mean, how do we remember ourselves? Repair our dismembered selves? I hear the Reverend say our speaking is just the beginning, but I stand in the cemetery that sings notes from the underground, and I wonder if silence ever really ends, especially in this Detroit summer swelter where I can't breathe enough to feed the human hunger of this place. But then I dream a breeze waltzes down my body and breathes life into this dirt, singing his notes from the underground, notes that windsurf on the early summer air until it is whispered in heart chords that chime tears of remembrance. And I cry, even though I didn't know him. And I wish I had a private moment to think about the difference between quiet and silence, listening and hearing, feeling and being, seeing and knowing. But all I have is this place that's become my pilgrimage and these people who have become my people. The family of Vincent Chin, my people. The family of Joseph Aledo, my people. Now the family of Fong Lee, my people. The students from the University of Michigan, my people. The students from McAllister College, my people. These poets, musicians, artists, singers, my people. These Christians, these Muslims, these Jews, my people. And I wonder, when did we cease to be a people? At what point does conscience collapse so that we fail to remember ourselves before we swing a baseball bat? Before we squeeze the trigger 41 times? Before we drag men down Texas roads? Before we bomb Afghanistan? Before we occupy Palestine? Before we strap bombs to our bodies and become suicide bombers? Before we rape women in war? Before we abandon war babies? Before we invade Iraq? Before we shoot a 19-year-old Hmong youth 8 times? Before we dismember ourselves? Because this list could go on and on and on to sever us with language that represents action without conscience. And in this moment, every part of me wants so badly to sing in retaliation and to dismember the moment I remember of being on bended knee, returning notes I received from the underground. A clicking noise warns that a beheading is coming. His snapshots quickly hunt me down and freeze me with questions just as intrusive as his camera. Why are you here? What is your connection? And I am too stunned by the demand for an answer to put into words the calling in my heart. So I remember I say simply, I am an Asian American woman. It was important for me to be here. And I remember I spilled my tears onto red and yellow carnations that dance with baby's breath under the June Detroit sun. Thank you.